What up, guys? Your boy Quake, and I know you guys haven't heard that in a minute. I apologize for not uploading a lot of videos on the main channel. If you guys aren't aware, I did the Get Rich or Die Trying documentary, and that took up a lot of my time. So if you haven't seen it, I flew all over America, interviewed a lot of key people that worked on the 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying documentary for the 20-year anniversary. So check that out if you haven't seen it. Also, I know you're probably like, what is this? Why are you in front of the camera? You're usually not in front of the camera, and you're usually behind talking, doing commentary. Well, this is a podcast clip. It's going to go on my podcast. So if you haven't checked it out, the Verse Mentality Podcast, I cover daily hip-hop news. I do album reviews, top 10 lists, so on and so forth. Now, let's get out of the promo, and let's talk about what this title is talking about. Easy Mill and Eminem. So if you don't know who Easy Mill is, if you've been living under a rock, he is a new artist that is signed by both Dr. Dre and Eminem. Yes, both of them got together. This is the third time this has happened. 50 Cent first, and then Stat Quo. Unfortunately, we know how Stat Quo ended out. It did not go so well, but the 50 Cent story, of course, we all know, went crazy. But this Easy Mill artist was very interesting, caught a lot of people's attention from this signing. I want to talk a little bit about who Easy Mill is, and then let's get into the track where he's featured with Eminem. If you guys don't know Easy Mill, don't worry. He's a new artist to a lot of people. Once Eminem and Dre signed him, obviously a lot of eyes got on him, so I decided to do a lot of research, watch his interviews, see where he's from, check out his projects. He has 3 projects. Now, I'm calling them projects because I don't know if they're albums or mixtapes. Act 1 and Duality are 2 of the projects that I really enjoyed. Duality is going to have a deluxe version dropping on August 11th, featuring, I'm sure, more music from Eminem and Dr. Dre and more tracks from him. Who is Easy Mill and why did Dr. Dre sign him? Easy Mill is from the Philippines, and by the time he got to college, which I believe is 18, 19 years old, because in America, that's the age usually people go to college. By the time he reached that age, he decided to drop out of college and teach himself how to make music, record music, all of that. He ended up coming to America thanks to his mother, ended up in Las Vegas. So when you see a lot of headlines, it says Las Vegas rapper, but he's actually from the Philippines. And I learned that through the crazy support that all the Filipinos are showing him, which is very cool. When he came to America, he started focusing on music full time. You know, he had some side jobs, but he started focusing on music. And he said he initially wanted to get into like the heavy metal rock type of style. He said that's the first time he started experimenting with music. He started making that kind of music, but eventually expanded, realizing that, hey, I need to reach a more massive audience. And the way you do that is by being more versatile, doing R&B music, doing hip hop, doing all kinds of different styles. And that's exactly what he does. He has a variety of different music. So he's very versatile. I can see why Eminem and Dre signed him. And the song Up Down is the actual song that got him signed to Eminem and Dr. Dre. But that's basically a quick breakdown of who Easy Mill is. The first promo song that they dropped for the deluxe version of Duality is this song called Realest. The song is produced by Easy Mill, Eminem, and Dr. Dre. Yes, Easy Mill can produce as well. So he is very versatile, man. This guy is a one-man band, let's say. Easy Mill and Eminem dropped the song Realest, and man, Eminem snaps on here. First, overall, the song is amazing. Easy Mill has a great hook writing ability, and the verses are dope. Eminem, though, obviously the intention is going to go to Eminem because he is the bigger superstar, and Eminem has decided to respond to all the naysayers, critics throughout, what, I want to say 2 years that have been talking shit about him. Well, he responds to everyone on here. The Game, Melle Mel, even throws some shots at Lord Jamar. And it is crazy, man. It is crazy. So let's break down all the lyrics and what he's exactly referring to. Eminem starts his verse saying, "Guess I've really no right to complain much. Hip-hop has been good to me, huh? But when they say that I'm only top 5 because I'm white, why would I be stunned? My skin color's still working against me because second I should be to none. Being white ain't why they put me at top 5. It's why they can't put me at 1. What is Eminem talking about here? The Billboard Top 50 Rappers list. A lot of people have felt like Eminem didn't get, at least in the top 3 or anything like that because of him being white. A lot of people said that, and I can see why. His skin color has worked to his favor and has worked against him as well. It's one of those double-sorted things where, hey, white, a lot of people pay attention to him a lot more, bigger audience, but being white in hip hop, that's predominantly a black culture, It is something that has hindered him as well. And people say that, hey, only because he's white, he's getting this, he's getting that, which I never understood that argument because there's a lot of white rappers that came out and they didn't do half of what Eminem has done. But that's not the only thing that he's responding to because, everybody has their own opinion, so on and so forth. He is responding to Melle Mel. Melle Mel did an interview a while back with the Art of Dialogue, and on there, he said the only reason Eminem is considered top 10 or top 5 is because he is white. That's the only reason why, which is, I think, very disrespectful to Eminem's talent. He continues the verse and says, they're coming with more venom, so the haters, I'm aiming it toward them. And all the envious rappers I torch if I'm on a joint with them. And that is the only retort is, I'm not played in the clubs. Motherfucker, put a cork in it. Only reason they still play your shit in the clubs is because you still perform in them. Now, who is he talking about when he's referring to these bars about his music only getting played in the clubs? Of course, he is responding to The Game. The Game did say that when Game was doing his whole spiel after the Super Bowl and not being invited there, he started going at Eminem, 50, and even Dre to a certain extent, and was kind of clear that, hey, he was jealous that he never got invited to the Super Bowl, and he started just attacking anything that he could attack. And then Game was talking about that he's a better rapper than Eminem. If he wants to battle him, he can battle him. So this is Eminem kind of throwing the jab right back at him and saying, hey, look, man, you're nowhere near on my level. I perform in fucking arenas and stadiums. You're still performing in a small-ass place like a club. And Game does a lot of club shows. That's 100% a fact. He hasn't done a tour in a minute, so if he does do a tour, it would be interesting to see if he can sell out a lot of arenas or places. The Game said this on the Showtime Basketball podcast.
When have you ever heard an Eminem song in the club? When have you ever heard this shit in the locker room when niggas like, yo, this is the new M. I'm about to go crazy out here when they do this tip off, nigga?
This is a jab, obviously, at the Game, and the Game is going to take this and run with it and probably create the Black Slim Shady 2. I'm all for a battle happening, man. I enjoy that. As long as it doesn't get violent, hip-hop battles are cool in my book. It's very entertaining, and I think we need more of that. Continuing on, Eminem makes a very valid point here that I've mentioned quite a few times. Continuing the verse, he says, I'm a guest in this house, but I turned this bitch into a mansion. That's an expansion. Made it gargantuan. England, Germany, France, and Japan's in this bitch. Even Dubai, because my music they do buy, which is a dope play on words. But what he's saying here is Lord Jamar a while ago said that he's a guest in hip-hop. That was a long time ago. I believe it could be 2018. Really long time ago. And Eminem's responded to him on Kamikaze quite a few times on that. But what Eminem's saying is the actual truth. When he got into hip-hop, if you want to refer to it as a quote-unquote house, he has expanded it. The reason why this is true is because I've looked up actually the statistics of album sales every time Eminem drops. Every time Eminem drops, the year that he would drop in like the year 2000, 2002, 2004, every artist that year would sell a lot more albums. Now, why is that case? Think back. Back in the 2000s, you would actually have to go and drive and pick up a CD. Now you can just stream it. But back then, there would be obviously a rack of CDs. You would go there, you would see Eminem, and then you would see right beside it DMX, Jay-Z, Ja Rule, whoever, Nelly, and that would encourage people, maybe white people that have never heard hip-hop, to buy different albums. So Eminem being white has expanded hip-hop because it got a lot of people, a lot of white people to join into hip-hop and listen to it and then expand and listen to other rappers as well. So he's expanded the genre, made it a lot more mainstream because of his skin color. That's just the reality of it. That is 100% true. Eminem is in the right in saying that, and the statistics actually back that up. Continuing on, Eminem decides to go at Gen Z, which is very crazy, some of the bars he spits here. It's definitely going to catch headlines with CNN and all these other news outlets as something outrageous and shocking, but we all know Eminem by now. He has all kinds of bars that say all kinds of different stuff. So at this point, I'm used to it. I think the whole world should be by now. But he continues and says this. It's not even close, you bitch. I'm by far the GOAT. Gen Z is acting like rap experts. Zip up your gaps and close your mouths. Bitch, you ain't been on this planet long enough to tell me how rap's supposed to sound. Y'all need to stick to what you do best. What? Shooting schools up, gat, go load up rounds. And your parents' gats and go to class and let off with the strap and go to town. That is a crazy bar to spit. And obviously, it's insane shock value. And we know, man, Gen Z, a lot of school shootings, a lot of kids that deal with a lot of different things. I'm not going to get into that because that's a whole thing, but Eminem's just saying, listen, you guys have no idea about hip-hop. You guys don't know your history. You guys don't respect legends. And I do agree. I think if you're going to listen to hip-hop, if you're going to be a fan of hip-hop, know your history, know, who came before, and always show respect to the ones that came before. Continuing on, he sends actual direct shots at Melle Mel this time. He says this, shout out to the Furious 5 and Grandmaster Flash, but boy, what up though? This is someone who is really furious. Stay out of his path, his wrath, avoid. And I'll be the last to toy with a juice head whose brain is half destroyed like a meteor hit it. Well, there went Melle Mel. We lost his ass to roids. Eminem here is clowning Melle Mel for being in such a built, muscular shape that he's saying, listen, all them damn steroids got to your head and you're just talking out your ass. You don't even know what you're talking about, which is hilarious because he is buff, man. Melle Mel is something else. I did not expect him to be that buff. I know he went on Instagram Live and started talking, and it was, damn, I was like, this guy is really fit shape. But that was a hilarious line going at him. So the rest of the verse, he continues and just talks about his upbringing a little bit, talks about how his mom was on drugs, and then his dad never cared, to be there. But overall, man, the verse is very, very engaging. I'm glad that Eminem took his time. It was a smart move on his end to, go at the game, go at Melle Mel, even send some shots to Lord Jamar, and, take his time with it, because had he tweeted some stuff or anything like that, it would have been not as impactful. I love artists that take their time and respond in actual music, and this is a great way to do it, man. It gives Easy Mill a lot more publicity, a lot more listeners on this track, and I just can't wait for the album, man. I cannot wait for the next Eminem album. I'm curious to see what he's got to offer, and if he's going to send more shots, man. I like this type of battles, man. Eminem MGK was a very interesting one, and yeah, we'll keep our eye out and see what comes of this. I'm sure the game is going to respond eventually. I don't see him kind of dodging this. I think he's going to take this opportunity and maybe write a whole song going at him. I think he's gonna see what happened with the MGK situation. When Eminem took some shots at him on Kamikaze, and then MGK just dropped a whole track going at him, and then Eminem responded with the whole track. So that could be a situation that happens here. I would like to see Eminem versus the game. That'd be very interesting on my end. I know a lot of people are like, oh, who cares? The game's this and that. The game can rap, guys. I think, I don't know if he's at the caliber of Eminem, but the game can rap. I think anybody who denies that, the game has a lot of tactics outside of rap that diminish his actual value in hip-hop, because he says a lot of crazy stuff, and that takes away from his music. I felt like if he didn't do that, a lot of people would appreciate more of his music. But if you actually just take away all the shenanigans and just listen to the music, Game is a great rapper. So I'm all for that. Eminem versus the Game. Let's hear it. Also, let me know what you guys think of the track. This is the first track Easy Mill and Eminem have done together as a collaboration. Is it fire? Is it trash? What do you guys think of Easy Mill's future? Is he going to be the next biggest thing? And do you think the Game is actually going to respond on a track? And if we do get that, what do you guys expect is going to come from it? And shout out to Easy Mill, man. Great track. Shout out to the Filipinos out there. Easy Mill's got that, deluxe version of the album dropping. I'm going to react live to it. I have a channel just called Quake. It's on my page if you click on it, or just search youtube.com/QuakeGW. And on there, I post reactions. I'm going to start doing a lot more. I was live reacting to the Easy Mill Eminem Realest track, so check out that video. I'll leave a link in the description below for that. Anyways, appreciate you guys for listening, and have an amazing day. That's it for today's video. If you guys want to support this channel further, you can do so at patreon.com/diverse mentality. For just $3 a month, you can get my videos uncut and raw the way I intended them to be, but couldn't because of YouTube. Plus, you also get access to our Discord community, where we have a great community talking about hip-hop and various other things. It's very dope. So only $3 a month. I'd really appreciate the support. Also, follow us on social media at QuakeGW and at Diverse Mentality. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.